You don't have to. Dad's sitting there with his mouth full of peanut brittle, spinning his fingers round to tell everybody that the tape's on. See?
Is that tape on?
Yes, it's on now. That's why I said it's on, so good. And all you'll be able to hear is me laughing over here. Now, anyway, Dad, when did your parents go out to Chile? These are things that I have not been able to get straight.
When they were 12 years old.
They both went out when they were 12. Now, how? What?
When they went out to colonize.
Yeah.
To settle the land that was in the ground around. Bull, a horse, or what they.
Okay.
I don't know how much they were given. 120 hectares or 120 acres, something like that.
Yeah. And then, now, did they know each other as families before they went out?
No.
Or they met each other when they went out?
They probably met as children in the British community. Because there were a lot of English people who went out there at that time.
Yeah.
Also a lot of train drivers who went out to drive the trains in the Chilean railway system.
Yeah.
And they lived out there too.
Now, your dad, you told us a lot of times that he was the ship captain and did that. Was that not your
No,
dad?
he's not.
That was-
He was in the British Naval Volunteer Reserve.
Yeah. And what do you...
And that was, in case of war, he was available to be called up.
But even
Because he
though-
had training
Yeah.
on sailing ships.
And how did he get training on sailing ships? Was it something that he did as a child? I mean, you know, as a grown-up boy, you know, that was his profession? Or?
No, I don't think so. No, I think he
Would
just
he
volunteered.
have been trained in the event of war?
The point was, he used to travel from country to country
Yeah.
and sort of hitchhike. But to get his passage paid, he used to sign on as crew.
Yeah.
So consequently, he had to set sails and furl sails and
Yeah.
what have you.
So then that would be like, you know, a boy now goes out and gets a job, and that's what he chose to do. That was more or less...
Well, he went out to Chile as a boy, and from there he went to South Africa.
Yeah.
He also went to the Argentine, which he didn't go by ship to there.
Yeah.
But he went to South Africa by it, and sometime in that time he visited Australia and landed on shore of a ship.
Yeah.
He landed in Newcastle and he didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
Terrible place.
Yeah.
And then he shipped out again. And he went up to the Yukon, gold mine. He was up there for a couple of years. And he was fish in the Camrys, the Yukon, and now in Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Something happened for a while. And he went down into the United States. He saw San Francisco soon after the big earthquake and disaster there. I don't know how soon after, it was soon after.
Was that 1994? No, it was
No,
18.
18 something.
Yeah.
But I don't know what soon meant, whether it was 12 months or 12 years, but it hadn't been reconstructed
Yeah.
when he went to it, shambles.
Yeah.
And he worked on stoop goats,
Now what's
thick
that?
onion. And the oats are cut low to the ground and they're tied in bundles by the machine.
Yeah.
And they stand them up to run.
Yeah.
Isn't it like the Bible?
Yeah, like the
Bible?
sheaves of wheat.
Wheat,
Just,
yeah.
yeah.
The machine used to do that.
Yeah.
One time they used to do all up by hand. It's quite an art doing by hand too.
Yeah.
And when he went down into the United States, he was farming down there for a while. And he came back, went back down there.
Now, was he married at this time?
No, No, he married Mum when he came back.
And how old was he when he got married?
Well, he must have been in his early 30s, I think.
Yeah.
You have to check back.
Well, I'd look on the, you know, you can go back and look in the genealogy sheet.
You get it from there.
Yeah.
Well, I think he must have been in his 30s.
Well, you would think, you know, all that traveling and everything, maybe that's what they were not too young.
One of the stories he tells us was he used to take the two eldest children with him into town. He made a box, fitted over the horse's back.
Yeah.
He used to pull on the other side and take it in.
Yeah, now that's Uncle Archie.
Archie and Bertha.
And
Brother and James.
yeah.
Saddlebags.
Yeah.
Saddle boxes.
Yeah. Be cute, wouldn't it?
Like Ruby's bike the other day.
Yeah. Well then, what about some of the stories that he used to tell you of his shipping days? I remember he told you about that Chinaman.
He got off in Newcastle because there was a little chap on the boat, a waiter. He must have been a waiter. He said he was only a little fellow. And the Liverpool Irishman was the first mate. He was pretty awful sort of bloke. So he turned the water on this yacht to this little chap and filled his damn boots with water. And Dad turned to Jim Fuller and he said, well, you wouldn't want to do that to me. And I heard him. So he filled his boots and he just turned around and fucked him. And then the mate pulled him out and chased him through the rigging of the ship. And he got off in Newcastle.
Yeah.
Didn't come back on again.
No, not one either.
He was there for a week
Yeah.
before he got another boat.
Yeah.
Another time he must have hit this China, I don't know what tongue he did. All sorts of funny stories as to that.
Yeah.
Well, him and Jim Fuller must have been a wild sort of bloke.
Well, you told us once about that. A Chinaman and must have been Jim Fuller played piccolo.
Yeah, that's San Francisco.
Well, what happened?
Well, Jim Fuller was a good runner.
Yeah.
And he raced off. And the policeman standing on duty. And when Dad went past, running past, and Jim Fuller heading in there, he said, "Run, you son of a gun, and I'll have to catch you."
Yeah.
And Dad run another 50 or 60 yards and turned around and just walked back into the crowd that was pursuing Jim Fuller.
Yeah.
And walked right through them. It's no good trying to keep up with Jim Fuller. He could run to him.
Yeah. And then we'll go back now to when your mother and dad were married. And where were they married, and then where did they live?
Well, see, that's before my time. They used to talk about these. They used to talk about these places, and I never revisited the place myself.
Yeah.
So to me, they're only names.
Yeah.
There's Kino, Tricalco, and Pua. That's the three that they used to talk about. And that must have been the English settlement. Must have been more or less the boundaries of the general area they're in. The Tricalco, well, that was a river because any Indian word finishing with co is water. And all the rivers finished up with water. Usually, if you knew what the first word was, you knew why the river was called. Like the one river, they call it Perkenko. And Perkenko means smell.
There's a smelly river.
And it's smelly river. So and another one was, they rechristened it, I don't know what it was before that, and they called that Metrenko. And that is, train was going over this river when there was some heaven came down into the river. So they called it that. I reckon the train had done that in the river.
Oh.
And that river still got that name.
Yeah. So you mean someone was in the bathroom, in other words, on the train?
They were using the train.
Yeah.
And somebody down below, when they saw it, hit the water, which they called the river.
Yeah.
As far as I know, that river still got that name.
Yeah.
What it was called before that, I don't know. Probably some other equally lucid name.
Yeah.
Like, the river's close to where it was called Ranquil. Ranquil, there's a sort of a swordgrass.
Yeah.
This particular stream, a small river, had a lot of swordgrass on its banks. So they called it the Swordbank River.
Yeah.
Ranquil.
Yeah.
Temuco. See, that the town itself is named because there's a small river runs through the town itself. And along its banks was the only place in that area with the wood timu. And timu is heavier than iron. Really incredible as it might sound, it is. And it's terribly good.
And what is it?
It's a wood. And they used to use it for making whip handles with. We got an old shafts. Something like that. Separator. To get wood. And you have to keep putting a new bush in it. And I got sick of it. So I got a bit of this timber wood, the same size as the bush that I wanted. I just drilled the middle out of it, put that in there, and that lasted like 4 or 5 years. The bush never went out. Anyway, it's a wood. Could have separated run far better with that than I did with the other wood. But if you check it, the water is straight to the bottom.
It's just heavy.
It was terribly heavy. Just a whip handle was as heavy as iron. They split each other's skulls with those whip handles. They were fighting. Still ways about it. They used to carve ladies' boots on the end of it. Whatever took their fancy, they'd carve the whip handle.
Now, how old were you? What can you remember from when you were little? Some of the first things you can remember.
When did you get married? So you got your pants done up?
Yeah.
He must have been a smart cookie.
Yeah, he must have been, yeah.
One of my first recollections. Terribly disappointed they would never get married. It wasn't fair. I didn't run down my trapdoor undone.
What age were you, Sis, when you were in the wheelchair?
I must have been around 7.
Now, was that before or after you ate that tree, that leaves and
A
made
long
you
way before I was. When you're little, you try to look back, it's a bit confusing.
Yeah, you can't remember what comes first. It's hard.
Yeah. No, I think that must have been just before I got sick. It must have been one of the last things I did before I got sick.
Yeah. And what exactly was it? I remember you
Typhoid.
No, I remember you about this leaves or something that you'd eaten.
That was a tree called Night Tin. That's what it's used for. It's used as a to empty stomach and bring it back up.
Yeah.
An appearance.
And I saw it full of seeds. I tasted it right now. So I chewed up the leaves. I went to eat boards. That's where I spent it when I came out of it. I I must have passed out then. But that's I can remember that quite distinctly. So it must have. That's a long time around trying to do that.
Yeah.
Well, my life would have let me like now.
Yeah.
No, I was trying to think. The next big thing was the big flood. And once again, I don't know what year it was. The whole valley was covered from hill to hill, about 7 miles wide. It was well, on the island itself, there was one apple tree that was I suppose it was about 30 feet tall. Maybe not quite that tall. But it, including all the other trees, were all completely in the water. Must have millions and millions of gallons of water went down that hole. It was fast. A horse, ordinary cantering, couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
An object floating down the river, the horse cantering couldn't keep up with it.
Yeah.
The thing would give up.
Now, is that when you said that it wiped it through with sulphur?
No, that was in recent years.
Yeah.
More recent. Well, I guess just before I left, it must have been when I was about 16, 17, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I suppose the other thing mixed up with the flood, and I can never separate the two, was the hurricane. And I don't know which came first, whether the hurricane came one year or the flood and the hurricane came in the 1 year, I don't know. It blew roofs into houses. Poor old Chuka had turned its back to the hurricane. That was it. It was gone.
Yeah.
It was just blown away, you never found it.
Yeah.
And we had some big gum trees. 2 of us kids couldn't put our arms around them, buttons on them, they were pretty big. And it just twirled them out of the ground, some of those. Just picked them up and heaved them about 10, 12 feet away from the hole. And it left a completely round hole with all the roots broken off neatly around the outside
Yeah,
of
so
it.
it must have just...
And the tap
must
was
have just
broken
spindled.
off.
Yeah.
And just lifted bodily and thrown out
Yeah.
about 12 feet, 10, 12 feet away from the hole.
Yeah.
The others it didn't touch.
Yeah. So it must have been like a twirly as well with it.
It must have been, but I don't remember that.
Yeah.
But I can remember getting out into it, and I crawled wherever I was going.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand up in it. That's why I don't know which came first. It was
Yeah.
terribly wet,
Yeah.
and I can remember logs coming down the river. Well, I said you couldn't keep up with the river on a horse cantering, and the wind was so severe, it was actually blowing logs. It was only showing about maybe a third of their volume, and it was actually pushing them against the current.
Yeah.
So it was really blowing.
Yeah.
You could see the log would be pushed back, and all of a sudden you'd see it race down the river, and then all it would stop again, and it sort of start going, or appear to be going back. It wasn't, of
You're
course.
standing still.
But it just appeared to be going back against the current, and then it would go like mad down the river again. But I said, I don't know which was first. I can remember both of those. The flood I can remember mainly, because it was this big volume of water, and it was all on the railway tracks going down to see some people work for us. It was all right. They hadn't been caught up in the flood. And I must have been walking on the rail, because I remember looking back over my shoulder when he was the train nearly on us, and I saw the driver leaning out of the side, looking at the flood, and I yelled, and everybody got off the rail. So we were all, none of us was hit. But I reckon if I hadn't been fiddling around walking on the rail, we wouldn't have heard it.
No, so you probably felt the vibration through the track.
Yeah, picked it up in the
And then the sound of the river.
bare feet, of course, is it?
You think the sound of the river was blocking out the noise of the train?
It was.
Yeah.
But Like I've often heard Mum used to say that if I hadn't yelled, that we'd have all been wiped out.
Yeah.
Because I can remember looking up, and he was a train driver. To me, he appeared to be up here. Well, he must have been almost on us.
Yeah.
Of course, I screamed and jumped,
Yeah.
and everybody else was able to get off. One of those lucky things, I suppose. So I can remember that distinctly, nearly being under the train, and I can also remember crawling along to get out of the window. They used to send me, tell them dinner was ready, and I used to go and tell them, I used to crawl.
How long did that last?
Well, the flood, the river must have remained up for at least a week.
When the hurricane,
Well, I think that might have been blown out in the day, I suppose. Because the year before the hurricane came through, now see, this is your memory plays tricks on you. I'm sure that I can remember Dad telling it to your Uncle Francis. He said, if the hurricane comes through here, we'll lose the top story. So he said, I think we'll take it off. Now, I don't remember them taking it off, but yet I can remember that conversation. And it was the very same year, they just re-roofed it again when the hurricane hit.
So they must have taken it off.
They must have taken it off. Yeah, but I can remember them
saying, but you can't remember them doing it.
But I can't remember them doing it. That's the funny thing about it. I must have been very small. It makes me think that the hurricane must have come before the flood.
The flood might have been a result of, the hurricane.
So maybe in the 1 year. But I can remember them talking that. I said, I couldn't remember that. But I sort of, within myself, I think I do remember. Because I remember thinking how smart Dad was to know that there was a hurricane coming. Because I didn't know what a hurricane was until it came. And then it must have impressed us all. I thought Dad was the smartest man that ever walked, of course.
Sure.
But after that, that's when I got the typhoid fever. Sometime later.
And then what did they do? They put you in plaster?
No, I went to hospital and I got careless in the hospital and I got reinfected. And twice. I had 2 relapses. It was all because I should have put in the straitjacket. But because apparently I used to chew my nails and they weren't very clean with me. That was the only thing I could work out. And because that's the only way you can get reinfected with typhoid is eating a germ. But in the end, I must have become a real savage because they used to tie me down. And I used to tear anything that I could get my teeth with. Blankets, sheet, pillows, pillow slips. Whatever I could turn my hand in.
What would that have, from the fever?
From the fever. I don't remember this is what it was. And in all that time that I was in hospital, 9 weeks unconscious as far as they were concerned, delirious. One Sunday night I came out of it, and that's when Mum had her teeth pulled. And I can remember her sitting there by my bed, and with this red handkerchief. And that worried me. But that's the only time I can remember. The next thing I can remember is coming back home. I don't remember coming back home, but I can remember being in bed. And except the name of Alfredo Gomez. I used to follow him in the shadow. He was a heck of a nice chap. Couldn't read or write. But he was a real, he must have been a real family man. And I used to reckon he was just it. He looked at me and he said, I said, pobrecito. He said, puro hueso. He said. And that means, the poor little chap, all he is bones. And I can remember that. And then I can remember bits and pieces. And I must have been like 7 times. And but not long. 6. Then the next thing I know is he came in another day. He asked me, what would you like? And I said, I'd like a picture. But this was in November or thereabouts. Yeah, that'd be about once a month. But the pigeons used to all leave to the flat country and they used to go up into the mountains. And they were about 30 miles away. So he'd buy it again. Out of season.
Yeah.
He went up to the mountain so he got back to pigeon.
Yeah.
Tweet.
It's something that you felt like you wanted to do.
And then it says from there, were you put in a wheelchair or when?
Well, as soon as I was able, they used to put me on not a wheelchair, it was a chair. Well, I don't know if it's a Hessian chair or not, but it was one of those that you hold up.
Oh, yeah.
Sort of more of a reclining chair.
Now, did you have tutors during that time or no school at all? You just completely recovering?
No, I wouldn't learn.
Yeah.
They left me strictly alone.
All they learned was about the birds and
Trees.
Just things that you observed yourself.
Oh, the birds used to come and make a nest just to I could reach out and touch them almost. They used to make them nests there. You'd hear the old wife scolding her husband because she got the wrong sticks and feathers. Pitch him out, and fluff her feathers up, scold him, and away he'd go and he'd bring something else back. She might accept that, weave it into the nest. He'd come back with something else. She'd really tear strips off him if he got the wrong thing. But he never went down and picked up anything that he discarded.
Been thrown out.
If he threw a feather out, it was the wrong time to bring it.
Then he never went back.
He went back and he'd get another, he'd bring an identical feather in a day or so later. But he wouldn't get it from underneath. Never picked up anything that discarded. That's strange.
Isn't that funny?
You have to hear the old ladybird used to scold him like that, really. You could almost interpret what they were saying. Useless, good for nothing, sort of thing.
This is told on the news.
It is. It really is interesting, isn't it?
Nobody observed and nothing happened.
That's when I learned later on with the bees. Before I went back to school, they didn't send me anything to do properly. And I used to go around just on the sunset and listen on the beehives, and I could tell which ones were small and how long ago. The way they, the different humming. So I knew. I said, well, we'll be 5 tomorrow. I knew I had to go on this. One day I was sitting down and I had a needle. The drones are sort of coming out this high because I reckon nearly all the ones that's coming out were drones. And the bees never objected at all. I was standing around for trying to fly. There was a chicken kennel. I was standing around and I was eating. But that chicken learnt to go and stand in front of a hive and pick the drones up as they were coming out. And all of a sudden the bee was, the chicken would dive under the box, and then it'd go off and one on another. And it used to stand in front of the hive. The bees was just going past it, and she just picked the drones off. Only because I suppose she learned that I'd been stabbing them. And she learned to eat the ones that I dropped, and when I didn't do it, she must have decided she'd do it herself. That she could pick the drones. Incredible woman. When all of a sudden you'd see it take off like mad, shaking its head.
Yes, you got it.
Probably
Picked
one
the
of the
wrong
bees.
one.
Probably a bee. No, I doubt he picked the wrong one. I think
Oh,
the
you
bees
think
are
the bee just-
the tap, tap. That aggravates bees.
Yeah.
Any
Constant.
consistent noise like that aggravates bees. It really drives them around the bee when they get real vicious.
Mm.
That's really nice to use a needle.
When can you?
But I noticed in this one particular hive, after I must have caught 1,000 maybe, or maybe more even.
And I didn't object.
No, but they did.
Yeah.
When there was only an odd drone coming out, then I got chased.
Yeah.
But all the while there was that many of them there, they didn't. And then at the end of the season, when the breeding season's over, I wouldn't be too sure, but I think it's about the end of February, March, the bees turn on the drones and they kill them. And they just bring them out, sting them and drop them down low. Sometimes they fly a couple of inches, too heavy to carry too. All the front of the hive is just littered with drones that they've killed off.
Yeah.
They don't want to carry through the winter.
Yeah.
The next spring they hatch
That's
out new
right.
ones.
Yeah.
They seem to be able to go into a dormant stage of the eggs. During the breeding season they just keep on hatching and coming out. But during the winter time they must, a certain coldness or whatever it is, and they just stop. They get, in the winter they get very sluggish, the bees, vicious if you disturb them, but too lazy to move out of your way, too drugged.
You see, it's amazing what Cecil learned.
Yeah.
In one sense.
Yeah.
When he was just compelled to sit.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, who took care?
It's a funny experience with the bees, though.
Yeah.
It's so old, and one day I was just sitting down in this circle later on, and all of a sudden we saw Uncle run like mad and drop these trousers down. He'd been stung by a bee. And our neighbours across the road, they were the railway watchers, I should say, officially. They decided they'd have some honey, so they came in one night, of all times. They took the lid off the box, and they took off the next little boards, and that's as far as they got. And they were really stung. It wasn't years later that the lady in the black collars, bees are vicious. We went in there one night to get some honey and we got the stings. See, at night a bee, he comes out and he flies about 6 inches.
Yeah.
And he zip, that's all you hear.
Yeah.
He drops. And he goes again and he drops. They get lost.
Yeah.
There's no sun to guide them,
Yeah.
no light.
Yeah.
And whatever they get on, if it feels strange, warm or anywhere, they'll sting it.
Yeah.
Or a piece of cloth or anything else like that that's different.
Yeah.
They'll sting. They won't sting grass and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, because they know the feel of it.
A woolen garment or a mouse or a rat or a human being will sting. But they don't know where they're going. They just keep on going. Next morning, the hive has been disturbed at night. There'll be bees all around the thing, it's still frozen and cold during the night.
Yeah.
The sun warms them up. Close them up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, a few of them experience.
Yeah.
Those are the two most stark ones.
Well, who used to take care of you? Because all your brothers and sisters were all away at school by then, weren't they? When you were in that chair, or were they home?
No, that's something I really couldn't tell you. Maybe Dad used to take me up before he
Go out
got
on
his
his
work.
Yeah.
Or maybe my other sister Bertha, maybe she goes through all this. I don't know.
Yeah. Well then, how old were you when you started school? 9? Then you went away, you were at boarding school for that time. And what were some of the things you, besides studying, you used to do to fight? Gosh, who with?
The other boys.
Oh, didn't your brothers ever sort of say, hey, leave him alone, he's
No,
been sick?
Eric was the only one at Friendsboro.
Oh, yeah.
The others left.
Yeah. Well, didn't he ever say, hey, leave him alone, he's been awful sick? Or you were left to fend for yourself by then?
Just look at
Yeah.
or tried it. The first year was good. I wasn't allowed to take part in sports because I reckon I was no good.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, nobody wanted me. The school was divided into two lots, blues and whites.
Yeah.
And normally when a younger brother comes in, he goes into his older brother's team.
Yeah.
But in my case, they reversed it. They reckoned there were two brothers allowed to be in the one team. So the Blues were the winning team.
Yeah.
They had about 5 years winning to 1 year's of the Whites competition.
Yeah.
And I was told that I wasn't going to show my face out by one of my teammates. They didn't want me when I was forced on them.
And
Yeah,
you
keep
were
out of the way.
in, which team were you in?
I was in the Whites.
You were in the underdogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this particular blog is the name of Hyde. He told me that if I showed my nose outside and I was put into the final sports, because they reckon I'd help to make them losers.
Yeah.
If I showed my nose out, he'd personally put me. You don't look at the footage from bigger boys. So I went out for a bit of a flower gardens and the quadrangle, but it was done up in trees and shrubs. You weren't allowed to take bounds. So I sneaked in there, I lied underneath one of the bushes and I watched the whole thing. And the very boy that told me that I wasn't to show my nose in an exercise with bamboo sticks, he made 3 mistakes and that cost him the 1 point.
Yeah.
And still, he was the one that folded 3 times.
Yeah.
And he was like, I said, you made 3 mistakes, with what?
Oh.
It didn't stop there.
Yeah.
But I told the captain of the Blues, and he laughed, he went, we got rid of you. They didn't want to quibble.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to stay at this school for a long time. And I said, 1 year, I said, I'll be captain. I said, and I'll lead my team. I said, we're going to win. And I did that my last year.
Tell us some of your ways.
So actually, says you did whole of your school from the age of 9
Yeah.
till how long?
16.
16. She crammed in a lot.
Yeah.
I jumped 2 classes. That's how I became head scholar 2 years running. I jumped 3 classes. But I jumped 2 classes.
Yeah.
That's how I was head scholar 2 years running. Because a headmaster came in real mad with the other higher class. He said, these other boys in this lower class know more than you do. He says, and I'm going to set you all the same exam. He says, and then whoever gets it, he's going to be head scholar. I taught all the classes. I was head scholar for that year. He said it, and all the boys, they heard him, so he couldn't go back.
Yeah.
But I had to finish my school. I had to go back 1 more year. But it didn't do me much good because half of my time was used instructing other boys.
Yeah.
Which I think was unfair.
Yeah, it was unfair, but then it gave you an advantage over some of them too. You learned how to teach.
Oh, yeah. It's done me good in later life. But
Yeah,
at the time,
it
wasn't right.
Yeah, no, it's not right.
My time shouldn't have been used.
No, you should have been.
I look back now, and my time shouldn't have been teaching all that.
No.
See, they used to use me out. They used me up to get the boys to pass their exams.
Well, that's exactly what you were doing, exactly what they do now.
Yeah.
Don't they? Give them extra tuition.
Yeah.
But I was being used to give the extra tuition.
Yes, that's what I mean, Cecil.
Yeah, those
You
that
shouldn't have been, but
couldn't read, they'd say, "Oh, you know this," and mathematics or something like that. And I'd be sent off to go and teach somebody to read,
Yeah.
to catch up. And my study time at night was an hour. It was compulsory.
Yeah.
And I never had that to myself, because I always had one or two boys sent over to me to teach them
How to do stuff.
what they had to do. And that meant to say from anywhere in, right from the lowest to the same my own school
Yeah.
classmates.
Yeah.
The teacher used to teach some, and of course one teacher couldn't handle the whole lot of us
Yeah.
in the study area. Yeah. So that he used to send them over to me.
Yeah.
So I'd finish up by sitting there, and I'd often have one on either side of me.
Yeah.
Studied that.
No. I mean, what are some of the things you did to win that? So that the Whites won the year that you were captain.
Well, we took it out in tennis actually.
Yeah.
It was you've got to put your teams up the day before the matches are played off. And once they go in what we call the glass cage, they couldn't be altered.
So you got to write up the names of everybody that are going to play what.
Yeah, that's right.
The day
Once
before.
that's there for good.
Yeah.
It can't be taken out,
Yeah.
because if any names are scratched off, you lose.
Yeah.
Whatever is changed, you lost out. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
And so they kept time. See, they put theirs up early, and I kept putting it off. I didn't intend putting mine up for the last, because I knew what had happened. If I'd have put my teams up, they'd have probably withdrawn their teams out of the glass cage and put up a whole new one. And I wasn't going to give them time for
Oh, I see. So they had up until the deadline that they could change. I see. Okay.
And I waited right till the deadline. I had mine written out. No, I did. It was the last thing I went and showed it up. And they hit the roof, because I put myself with another boy to play their best two at tennis.
Yeah.
Because I thought we'll lose
Yeah.
and we'll win the next two. Because their two best players was taken out with our two worst ones, you see.
Yeah.
But the funny thing what happened was that the chap and myself played, we took their top team out. And they weren't only the top team of the Blues, they were the top team of the school.
Yeah.
They were the ones that was selected to go and
Representing
represent the school outside competition. And we towelled them up. And they were horrified.
Yeah.
And they were saying that they should send us out to represent the school.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have a bar of that, because these two were good.
Yeah.
But it upset them to think that they were playing two no-hopers, as they thought.
Yeah, and then it unnerved them enough that they...
But I was extremely lucky that I had a good service.
Yeah.
And I got every service was an ace.
Yeah.
I didn't get the first ball in, the next one went in, and that was it. And then I used to go up to the net. And that left the other player.
Yeah, to run. Yeah. So they run.
And we came no time. So my next team lost and the other team won. So we got 2 points. And we won the final on by 1 point.
Yeah.
Good. It came out what I'd said was going to happen.
Yeah.
All that time before.
Yeah.
At cricket, I thought we were right. I bowled 3 hat-tricks. That is, I got 3 chaps out
Yeah.
without a score, and then they made 1 or 2, and I got another 3 out, and then they made another 2 or 3, and I got another 3 out. They made 10 runs.
Yeah.
And I got them all out. Bowled out.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, this is it. You know.
Yeah.
We can't make less than that.
Yeah.
It's impossible to make less. Went out there. I remember it was a bad, so I was right away. I put myself right down the batting list.
Yeah.
But they had a googly bowler, and you know what? We all went out from the line. Incredible.
Oh, okay.
They made 2 points more than we did. Incredible. I think that must be a record of all-time low scoring.
Yeah, gee,
And
For both sides.
yeah, for both sides, yeah.
there was boys in my team that had made 50 and 60.
Yeah.
And there was boys in their team that had made good scores.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Oh dear.
Oh, I thought, all right. Tell you, I wangled that too. The headmaster, you know, I don't know if he was awake up or whether he was a bit lax, but I sighted I picked the pitch, and nobody objected.
Yeah.
But I picked it so that I was bowling into a wooden fence. Otherwise, it would have been bars galore, you see.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it didn't matter how fast I bowled,
Yeah.
it stopped on the
at
fence.
Yeah.
And they no hope of getting a run through.
Yeah.
You hit the fence and bounce
Yeah,
back as near as the weak as ever.
Yeah.
But nobody objected. I thought they would.
Yeah.
But no, nobody said a thing.
Yeah.
They were quite happy. So was I.
Yeah.
And I picked it then.